Hey guys, I'm Anri Grobbelaar. I'm 15 years old and I'm currently a student at Bloemhof High School.
So, Anri, taking back to the beginning, how did you get introduced into cricket?
Well, when I was in the first grade, my brother and his friends were playing in the backyard. And it just seemed like such an interesting sport, and I played with them, and it turns out that I could actually play. So when school started and the coaches said trials is open for anyone who wants to play, I decided to go. And I didn't really realize, I didn't really care that I was the only girl there, and I made the A team, and that's where it started. The first 7 years of playing cricket, I only played against guys and with guys in the team. And my team at Beaumont Primary, they were really supportive, and they supported me through the journey. But playing against some boys, there were always words said to me, and remarks made that obviously did have an impact on me. But ever since I started to play with the ladies and the girls, it just made me fall in love with the game so much more that I didn't really care what other people thought after that.
Yeah, I actually wanted to ask you about that because I've spoken to some Proteas women players and they've spoken about their time playing against men and the remarks and the bullying that happened. Did you face any of that in your younger days?
Yeah, from the opposition, yes, they would. If I would go into bat, they would, say things, like, why are you here? You don't deserve it. You're not supposed to be here, stuff like that. And and when I was a bowler younger, my favorite story when we played a big bash tournament. I bowled the guy, so I bowled him out, and his friend that came and mocked him and make jokes, and then the next ball I bowled his friend out as well, and I was on a hat trick. So I think the best way to just prove them wrong is to prove them wrong, to shut out all those remarks, and just do your best.
I'm Gabby Lee van der Westhuizen. I'm the Western Province Senior Women's manageress, and the conditioning coach of the team, and then as well as the under 19 manager.
With regards to Anri, when is the first time you actually saw her play?
I actually play some club cricket as well, and we play in rival teams.
Oh.
So I'll never forget the first time. Well, I knew she always played cricket, and I saw her on the field, but when she was like 12. So then she was part of the under 19 team. I wasn't yet involved with the under 19, but I was still the manager of the Western Province team, and we played a club game, and they needed like a few runs to win, and then she came in and she just hit the ball for like 2 sixes, and I was like, where did this child come from? And I was like, wow, this kid is just like blooming onto the circuit. Like, it was crazy.
So how many years did it take for you to actually make the Western Province side?
I started playing in grade 1 and I made the side in 5th grade. Yeah. So it's 5 years. So I made the side at 11 years old, the under 19 Western Province side.
Wow, that must have been an awakening for you. And what did your parents say about that?
To be honest, none of us thought I was going to make the team. When I made the last round of trials, we were like, okay, that's good first year experience. But then I actually made the side, and I was terrified, and I didn't really do much the first year. But I feel that I wouldn't be where I am now if I didn't start that young.
So, is it cricket for you? Is that your career path? Is that where you're going to go with it?
In primary school, it was always hockey, cricket. But ever since I've gone to high school, it's been cricket all the way, especially since I've been playing with the senior ladies. So, I intend to make a future for me out of cricket.
Okay, cool. And the first time, when did you make you apparently are now in the Western Province side, you no longer only captain the SA under 19 and the Western Province under 19 side. You were SA under 19, you play as well?
Yes, last year in the December IPT, I did make the SA under 19 girls side, yes.
So, and when was your debut for the senior Western Province side? Have you made your debut yet?
Yes, November 2017 I made my debut for the seniors against Border.
Hi there, my name is Khalid Mohidin, head coach of the Women's and Girls Western Province Pipeline, and Anri Grobbelaar is my under 19 captain. Well, as a batsman, Anri has an all-round game. So she's very good on the straight ball, but very powerful square of the wicket. So sweeping, pulling, cut shots, that type of thing. Recently, Anri was in Port Elizabeth with the under-19 tournament, and PE wickets aren't the easiest. They're slow and they're low and they take a lot of spin. And she scored a lot of runs while she was in PE, batting in the middle order, facing the spinners and facing the slow bowlers. So I'd say that she adjusts very well to different conditions when she plays.
And if you have to compare to other players, or not necessarily other players, but other styles of cricketers, I would say, like, is she someone that comes out to the blocks firing, like a Lizelle Lee, for example? Is she an elegant player like Laura Wolford that takes her time and finds the gaps? Or would you say that she's more of a big hitting type of player like Chloe Dryon?
I'd actually say she's a combination of a Lizelle Lee and Danae van Niekerk, who can play those elegant shots along the ground through cover and straight, like I said, as well as hit powerful sixes over the boundary.
Yeah. So you see her in training. A large portion of cricket as well is the mental capacity and the mental ability of a player. So mentally, how strong is she? And to be 15 years old and have such a mature personality as we saw before, what makes her special in that way?
Well, I think Anri's upbringing is a big influence. The family that she comes from is a very sporting family, as well as she's humble in her approach towards her captaincy. Not saying that the girls take advantage of her, because when things don't go right, she takes a stance and tells the girls, listen, enough's enough, you need to do this, do that, but in a way that the girls can still approach her after the game or even during the rest of the series. So captaincy in that regard, Anri is very mature.
And she spoke about being a wicketkeeper. What makes her special in that department?
Anri went from a bowler to a wicketkeeper to a middle order batter. Anri as a keeper is phenomenal. She's one of the top up-and-coming keepers in the country, and we're struggling at the moment with women's keepers, especially going towards the national setup. So Anri's future as a keeper is very strong and very good, especially with her batting ability.
What were some of your highlights in your career so far?
Lower levels, there's always the 5 wicket hauls in the 50s, but I feel that the first big score that actually meant something to me was 2016 IPT, under 19 IPT against EP. I made 96 or 52 balls in a T20. And after that, obviously last 2017 IPT, I had a couple of high scores, 86, 57, so around there. But obviously making the SA under 19 side was a big milestone for me, and the senior Western Province ladies side.
What are some of your goals for the future?
So obviously I want to make the Proteas side one day. That's the ultimate for every cricketer. But also tournaments like the Big Bash and the IPL that hopefully women will have one day. I also would love to play in those tournaments.